And we are live. Hello and good afternoon to everyone. You all needed to be the flies on the wall before this started. Hi, Miss Olu.
Hi, Dr. Stem.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the invite. I'm really excited to be on your platform live.
As my first guest, and I'll send you an award for that. You
Woo!
need you need a plaque that says I was the first guest on
Yes,
live. I didn't know how
I'm
to do
honored.
So I want to welcome all of you, that are joining us now live, and those of you that will be watching us, after this. I want to, welcome you to the live show that we do every Tuesday. So this is probably my third or fourth one. I can't remember, but I'm so excited about it. So because this is my strategic coach, and I'll tell you more about her. You said if they are watching live, what do we want them to say in the comments again?
Hashtag live.
So let me put it in there. So if you're watching now, please put hashtag live, which is this one here, hashtag live. Oh, okay. And then if you watch after the live, put
Hashtag replay.
hashtag replay.
Replay. Dr. Stem, did you write it down?
How many times I've written it down?
Oh, no.
So the reason why I do this live is to show how, to normalize the online work, that we're now all doing or like going towards working. So who I have today, for those of you that are just joining us, this is, I call her Miss Olu, but it's Olufunmi Olutile.
Correct. Wow.
Oh, okay, I did that right. So
Yeah.
she's joining me today because Miss Ollie and I have got a history where we've been working together for 3 years now, and she is my rebranding coach, my strategic online coach. She is the one that built my beautiful website that you see, www.drstemi.com. She built that website, with me. So the reason why I wanted her here today is because not only is she working with me to rebrand everything, as I have mentioned earlier this year, to say, listen, I'm rebranding. You're going to be seeing new things, popping up, that we are doing. She is, behind all the rebranding that we are doing. She also builds, the courses. So I'm the ideas person. I have this work that I want to do, and I, talk about the programs that I want to do, the workshops that I want to do, the trainings that I want to do. And then now what she does is she comes along now and puts all that information. I mean, you can imagine all that information and all those ideas. And now helps me strategically to be able to bring them to you so that they make sense, and you and I can have now the workshops that we've always wanted to do online, and to do the coaching online, but now to put it in a sensible way that is more, clarity, to bring clarity to all those courses. So I wanted her to come here so that, one, for those of you that are working towards building online programs, which everybody should, I don't care what you're doing, everybody should have some online presence with your businesses, with your careers, with your lives, because online is the place, to be. So we're going to start off, maybe, before I even go into the article that you wrote that brought me to do this, I want to go back into a sister, not only a sister, African sister, right? And tell us your background and what got you into this tech gig, you know. Ja-
Thank you, Dr. Stem. What an introduction. I'm really honored to be here. Yeah, so I know we just have a few minutes, so I'll just briefly share my story. So everyone calls me.
We got time. We got time.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Okay. So everyone calls me Funmi, and my name, it's actually a Yoruba name from the western part of Nigeria. I'm originally from Nigeria. My family and I, we live in England, we live in the United Kingdom, but we didn't just, get here in one day. I didn't just get here in one day to meet the likes of Dr. STEM. So I started my business way back in Nigeria, and initially I had a school, and it was a very posh school. I didn't know much about education, but I loved it. My mom was a university professor, so I took that teaching thing from her. I was always teaching Sunday school children, but from a young age, I loved to dismantle things. Even when nothing is wrong with the TV, I could just dismantle and say, I want to check something inside. So everyone thought, oh, okay, she would go into like engineering or something. But eventually I told my husband, I said, I want to have a school, and I want it to be the talk of the town. I want it to be this, to be that. And we put all our resources into it. We had children from all across, nationals, different nationals, different parts of the world. Our consultants were foreign. And then 18 months after this, we kind of were duped and we lost everything. We had to, move from our home. We had to always go to the schools and beg the teachers, the principal, hey, we are going to pay, relax, and all that. And one day I just woke up and I said, this is like a story of, grace to grass. I said, but we can rewrite this story. My husband, he had a very good job, but he had also left to do his business and things. So all that we had was what we put into this school. And when we lost everything, I knew that I must find something. But I've always been, not always, but from a young age, I've always known God. My parents introduced me to God early enough. So I knew that one can always ask him for help. And so I prayed one day and I just said, help me, find me something. So I started an Instagram page where I was selling things like drop shipping. I would wait for people to order, then I would pick from China, but it was such a long process. In fact, my daughter, who is now 19, was the one who was teaching me how to use Instagram at that time.
Oh, wow.
It was that bad, because anything online, I just scroll past and, window shopping and all that. So taught me, and that was how I started to make a trend. And then one day I said, some people are making money every day. What are they doing? There must be something. And as if in answer to my prayer, there's this lady that just came to my DM in Instagram, and she was like, hey, how would you like to make money every day? And I was like, talk to me. It's like you're answering my prayer, like you were in my bedroom yesterday. And introduced me into the world of Forex trading. And then I started to make money every day. But while I was in school, in the school we had, I was always paying attention to the children, always taking videos, making clips. So at the end of the term, I personally handled, their package. I would take all their pictures, all their activities throughout the term, and I would make it into a CD for each child. So it was so special to the parents. So I had to find out how to do a website. I had to do all those. And then here was I after school. I was doing Forex trading, and I was like, somebody needs to teach me, better, because I know I did a basic website. I did this, I did that. Someone needs to teach me how to turn this into money, So while I was doing Forex trading, the monies I was getting from Forex trading, I was using it to learn. I found some ladies online, started to do business coaching. I was in their group coaching. Sometimes $24 would even be so hard for me, because I have to transfer the money out of my Forex account and things. And then our currency, obviously from Africa, it was always shaking, it was always changing. So it was a tough time, but it also toughened me, and that was how I found myself. When I now knew the basics of business training, then I started to develop more interest in the tech part. And because I couldn't afford, to actually pay people to do these things for me. I had to learn myself. And a lady came to me and said, oh, Kajabi. And I was like, well, I've not used it before, but I've heard about it, but I'll try.
Yes.
And that was how I just found myself in Kajabi. And I was like, okay. And I fell in love with the system. And one thing with me, I always want to, if I don't know everything in and out, I'm not satisfied. So I made sure that I knew everything about it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came out and took the courage and started to tell people, this is what I do. This is what I do. But, like you said, I think it was just before we really went into this meeting when you were talking about being a nurturer. Yes. That's how I am too. So most of my clients say, you are so patient. It's not that I'm patient. It's just that I had to learn to be patient, because I could see the potential that was out there for me, but I couldn't touch it. I would be on a call like this, trying to make some bank, and electricity would just go out, and I'll have to go all the way from upstairs, run outside, try to put on the gen. Maybe the small gen will not start. Then I'll switch to the big gen. Then I'll start calling my husband. You have to come home. Where are you? And he'll be like, I'm stuck in traffic. It was a tough time. Yeah. But eventually, they say, what you know. Mm-hmm. And eventually, I think my work started to speak for itself. People gradually started to know me. Did I face discriminations? Yes, certainly, because there were times when someone would say, oh, where are you from? And I'll be like, oh, Nigeria. And they would just stop chatting, like they just disappear from the call. Yeah. So I know what that felt like. And eventually someone said to me, after we had met and planned and everything, and she said to me that, hey, I'm sorry, I can't go on at this time. I need more information about you. My husband thinks you are a scam. And I remember that was the day I was going to just close up the business and say, thank you very much. This is not going to happen again. But somehow I got the courage that, look, you are making a difference in some people's lives. So you just need to show that you can give them results. And, I just took up that courage, put up a new product and said, hey, this is a retainer. This is how much I'm charging. And I was like, whoever takes it, fine. If they don't, no problem at all. And the first person that took it up, she actually lives in the UK, and I was still in Nigeria then. And she said, oh, your name sounds like Yoruba. And I was like, yeah, I'm a Yoruba girl. She was like, oh my God, I'm a teacher. And, there are so many Nigerian communities and I know their names sound like this. I'm so excited to work with you. And my heart just swelled up with so much joy and love. And, and up till today, she still pays me as on a retainer. Yeah. Like, even when there's nothing we are doing, she said, nope, I don't want you to go. Let's just keep at it. But more importantly, as soon as we started working together, this was somebody who was always out there. She's a top professional, she's a professional at the top in her niche. And she's always out there going for conferences. She's a conference speaker. She travels for conferences, international schools. But then we had to put everything she was doing online during COVID. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we started, 10 months after that, she was trying to do her taxes, and her accountant said to her, you should have been paying taxes when you were this, that, because you've crossed 120,000. And she was like, what? How?
Wow.
That's how much you grossed in your business. She was like, I just put the business online, as in, and he convinced her and said, no, that is what you grossed. And she was so excited. I was so excited. And that was when I knew that, oh, definitely what I'm doing is working. My confidence grew and all of that. And then I started to see these hybrid people. Maybe I should wait for you to ask that question.
Hold on about the hybrid people. Welcome to everybody who's just joining us. If you can, in the comments, section, put in a hashtag, she's going to kill me live. Hashtag live, or just put in live on there, because I want to see, if you can hear us for one, and just say hashtag live so that we know that you're here. But this is Miss Fumi. I call her Miss Olu. Miss Fumi. She is an online guru. I call her a guru because this is one woman that has just been telling us on how she started being the expert. Nobody is born an expert, and no one is born knowing what they know. We are now in a season where you either know what you know or you don't know what you don't know. And I, for one, am one person that was so excited way before COVID to be able to come online and do things online, because I've always wanted to reach out millions of people from around the world, where I can do workshops, I can do seminars, I can coach someone, and we can talk one-on-one online. So I was so excited. So as with my excitement, I bought a membership in Kajabi. Kajabi is a platform where you can build those programs that I'm talking about, whether it's your coaching, or you are selling beads, or you are selling dresses, or you are selling, whatever that you want to sell, books or something. It was it is an online platform that was started way before COVID. But what I didn't know was I needed also to retain the expertise of people like Miss Fumi that had gone in and studied on how to build a website within Kajabi, how to build a course within Kajabi, and then build what we call pipelines and all this, stuff that is online that I had no idea that it needed to be done, right? Because then here's the thing, you have to have that bridge that connects your work and also your customers that can build it up for you. So as we are talking right now, I'm going to put my website in the comment section, where I would love for you to click on there and see the work that she's doing. She built this 3 years ago for me, and now she's rebranding it, where we are putting in new, look on the website, new programs on the website, and it's very exciting, stage that we are doing now for her as a strategic coach that she's doing. I wanted her to be here today so that she can talk to all of us about the, importance of being online, what she call hybrids. And now you can take over with this hybrid stuff.
Thank you. So, looking back now, when I wrote that article and I said, have you noticed these hybrids, that are online? It was a day I was really reflecting and just, taking it all in. And I'm like, okay, there's a trend, but sometimes we are just blind to it. We are oblivious to it. We are not really paying attention. And I saw that, first of all, those that are getting into business, there's no barrier of age right now. I'm seeing 70-something-year-olds popping up and sharing their expertise with the world and making bank. I'm seeing teenagers popping up. They have their clouds, they have their own mentees, they have people they are teaching. I'm seeing women. I've been on a call where she was actually nursing her baby, and she just pulled her blouse down and the baby was sucking. And I'm talking of someone who is making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. The baby is hungry, for goodness sake. So there is no ceremony anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing men of God, women of God, who normally would probably have been like, oh, I can't make money, holy, and all that. But they are experts in their field. And like you said, nobody's born an expert. The only thing is, whatever you find your hands to do it well.
Yes.
Once you do it well, once you know it well, turn it upside down, inside out, know everything about it, yes, then you're an expert in it in your field. Yeah. But I think the mistake that we normally make is we feel that, as I'm an expert in this, I must also be an expert in this. And that's what confuses a lot of people. Yes. So I'm actually here to debunk and say it doesn't even have anything to do with the tech. That's not the first thing. we should put ourselves in the shoes of the customer. And that's how the tech begins to come in. But usually we put ourselves as, we think of how we feel about what we have, the cost we have, the product we have, and we're not thinking about the customer. Sometimes the customer is okay with you just putting everything in a Google Doc, send it to them, send them a PayPal link, and you are paid. But a lot of people, they put it the wrong way. They do the tech first, and then as they now grow in their skills and every other thing, they now see that, oh, this tech is obsolete, and then they get stuck again because they don't know how to do the tech. So they are running back to the tech person, So the hybrid situation. And the reason I shared my story, I love to share that story. The reason I shared my story is to also show that anything is possible, because if I started in Africa, if I tell you how my phone was then, Dr. Stem, when I first started, this should be about 5-6 years ago. I had an old Infinix phone that the screen was broken. So, no ring lights, nothing. So I would just stay with my phone. I would stay on calls, because I love to learn. Yeah. So any webinars, anything that I know, I want to learn more about this, I'm always online. And I would just stay in my little corner. Sometimes I can't even see them clearly because my screen is broken. But I was determined to learn. Yeah. I was. But now people are looking for get rich quick schemes. They're just, what's the fastest way? But there's a process to it all. Everybody doesn't need to have a sad story to begin. But at the same time, I feel like it's a rip-off when you can't deliver value to your clients and you are charging them and they are paying you.
Yeah.
So things should be balanced, honestly. Things should be balanced. Look at those hybrids, just take some time, go on social media, get into different types of worlds, different people, different niches, and you will understand what I'm talking about. You are seeing people from Africa boldly, coming out, people from third world countries, not even just Africa, third world countries, boldly coming out, and they are making their bank. Yeah. And they can stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone. Yeah. And the thing is, I always believe in, should I say karma? I think I should call it karma, that what you sow is what you're going to reap. Yeah. With the way I put my heart to work with my clients, I believe that that's one of the reasons why, especially for those who sincerely and genuinely, they are patient with me, because I'm patient with them and they're patient with me. They make it at the end of the day, and everyone is happy, because I love to work with people who are really passionate about what they do. I can tell that they really care. Yeah, the money is good, but it's not the money first.
Yeah.
And when we get to that level, then we will charge what you want.
Yeah.
There were times I couldn't even charge $200 when I first started. One, because I didn't know all I'm supposed to know. I was unsure of myself. I was still learning, but that doesn't mean you can't earn while you are learning. But I was still learning. So I was charging at that time what was good. Yeah. But the same thing that was $200 before, people have paid me $20,000 for it now. But they are getting results and they know that, we're in safe hands. So it's important to develop that skill set, whatever it is. If you are selling shoes, develop this skill set so well. You are writing courses, develop what you are teaching so well, and then you now need a strategist. Most times the reverse is the case. Get the strategist first. Invest in yourself, get the strategist first, so that you don't waste all the time, use 1 year to write a course, and at the end of the day you can't sell it. Most times the strategist, a good one, if they see there is no way, they will just undo everything you've done and you start again. So you've just wasted time.
Yeah.
So my encouragement is just, take a look around. There's nothing that is impossible. I think it was 2020. I just got an email and the person said, we're looking for some women to join in writing a book. I was like, write a book? Yeah, I'd written a book about my late mom, but I was like, write a book. I replied, I said, are you sure this mail was meant for me? And she said, yes, it was actually meant for you. And at the end of the day, we came together. I think I can't remember, maybe 28 or 29, we came together and we did this beautiful book, which I shared, some of the story I shared now, which which I shared in there. And it became a best-selling, Amazon best-selling book.
Yep.
And the very next week after it became that, they came again and said, how about we do this other one? Are you interested in joining this time around? I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And immediately went live. It also became a best-selling book. So today I can say, oh, I'm a two-time international Amazon best-selling author. And I remember the mastermind I was in then, because we're kind of close and we meet once a week. So I remember asking, I said, I'm sorry to ask this question, but after this book, people have been telling me, come speak here. I said, does that mean I can put speaker in my bio? And they were like, yeah, you're a speaker. I was like, oh, okay.
So you know what, now that you mentioned that, I also want to mention to everyone who'll be watching and that is watching right now, I actually have a current book that I am writing and inviting any woman who's been an author or who wants to be an author, because I'm putting together a bestseller as well. It's called Bounce Back. Many of you know that I have the Bounce Back Empowerment Conferences, but this will be the first Bounce Back book. So it's Bounce Back, book that we'll be putting together. It's an anthology from setbacks to comebacks. So if you want more information, go ahead and just put more information in the comments area, or you can inbox me in my private, Facebook message, or any messages where you find them, or email me at drstem14@gmail.com. I'll also attach the flyer there so that you too can become a best-selling, author. What you just said, thank you for that story. I started working with her 3 years ago when she was in Nigeria. And I remember that darkness that she's talking about. I couldn't see her. And I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Stem, let me just open up this year so that you can, because I couldn't see her. And, but she's in the dark, corner in there. I'm telling you, one thing that really inspired me, not only to work with her, but to continue building an online program where I can do workshops, seminars, conferences, and coaching, is how determined that she was, being in Africa with no light, no nothing. And she's just like, coming in there and having a meeting with me and strategizing with me on how I can build my courses, online, how she can build it, because then, I do the videos and I do, all the audios, and then she puts it all together. And now we have a Winning Wednesday Stories, blog, but it's a podcast that we have. She puts it together. I'm doing this, segment today so that you, as a woman, a man out there that will be watching, because I have men that will watch this podcast too. If you have the idea and you don't know how you can break through online, whether you've been online and you've been making the $120,000 that she's talking, and you're like, you know what, I need to be at that $500,000, or I need to be $1 million. She can take you from where you are now to that, $1 million. And I'm sure some of you heard her saying, well, now the people are paying me the $20,000 I was charging too. Don't get stuck on the $20,000.
No.
When she does, the building of the programs, the online and everything, and you are getting $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 a month, what's $20,000 to be charged to do that? You've got to build that mindset that will help you to think outside the box and strategize outside the box if you're going to be that millionaire person, or even $500,000 person. It can be done. It can be done. It's possible. And that's why I wanted her today to come in and say, listen, if you've seen those young people and old people and middle-aged people making money online, you too can make money online, regardless of your experience, regardless of, your education. This is now an even platform where anybody and everybody who's willing to have people like her help her or him make money and build online, you can do it too.
And also I wanted to just add also, the 20,000 I gave is just an example. It depends on people's needs. We have low tickets offers. It all depends on needs. And one thing that I usually say, in fact, is in my contract, we don't consider work done until you are 100% satisfied. It's in every of my contracts, whether you are paying a $600, for a $600 package, or a $36,000 package, or a 20,000 or 5,000. We do not consider work done until you are 100% satisfied. And of course, it also depends on what is the package entails that gives it a price tag. So like Dr. Stem said, if you are watching, don't get scared and say, oh, she's going to charge me.
Like, oh,
no.
So she's a teacher at heart, and that's one thing I appreciate about working with you and being a strategic coach that you are for online business, especially what we're doing now, rebranding and putting together our programs for 2023. You are a teacher at heart. We were talking before this started, because this is the first time that I'm having a guest on this live podcast. And for many of you that are seeing me consistently now every Tuesday, you're probably wondering, she's coming in every Tuesday. It's part of her plan that she came up with as soon as we started meeting. She's like, I never see you online. Why don't you do some live so people can know who you are? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm coaching other people to be online. She says, no. You need to be online too. So then I'm looking at it. I was like, oh boy, here we go. I guess I gotta do that, So as I come on now, and I'm learning how to be online. So with the platform, this is the first time that I'm doing this, to have a guest on there. I'm telling you, I wish I had recorded my scream when I gave her a link that I was supposed to give her. And then I'm like, oh my God, is she going to get it? Is she going to come? And then I look on the screen and there she is coming in. I literally screamed and said, I got it. That's the excitement of being online and doing an online business. When you get that one client, one step, and you're building these programs, or you're selling these things that you want to sell, and you've got a site where people literally cannot get over the things that you're selling. Your passion is not even, like you said, it won't even be about the money. It's about the growth that you continuously get when you get it, and you're like, oh my goodness, I got to do this, and I got to do this with people. So I'm hoping that many of you that will be watching this will reach out to her and say, listen, I've always wanted to be online as well. How can you help me? So that she can give you that free session that she always gives everybody. That's how I started. And she's like, okay, let me just meet with you. Tell me what your vision is, what your dreams are. What do you envision people seeing on your site? And I just like, told her everything. It's like, okay, all right, let me put it together and tell you what I'm seeing and how we can work together. When that came, I didn't care. I didn't care, what the price at the end was, because I saw the journey. And I saw that I finally can get to reach out the people that I want to reach, that I know will benefit from my programs. And I also can benefit from reaching the many around the world. And that's what I hired you for, and, have connected with you and build a great, great relationship where we are continuing to work together. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Dr. Stem.
Any words of parting and how people can get in touch with you? You can put in, I know you're going to put your link as well in there so that they can get in touch with you, Ms. Solo.
Yeah, I'll put the link to a free call, like you said, just get in touch, just talk it over. I don't do pressure, I don't, it's either, for sure, oh, I'm ready to work, and that's a different calendar. This one, I won't even ask you to fill in anything. Once I just know that, this link I'm putting here is coming from Dr. Stem, let's just talk through things. Sometimes we feel like, oh, it's so hard, it's so difficult, and just a quick chat, sharing the problems that you're encountering will just, make it like, oh, as if it's not such a big deal after all, and as much as, we want to do business and make bank, sometimes relationship is better. The person who cannot pay today, because I was once there, I couldn't pay, but I remember writing to a couple of ladies. I don't even know what their names are today, but I saw them as so up there, And I was like, I have this passion, I have this drive. I saw your program. I really want to join. Is there anything you can do? Can I pay? And they never replied. I'm telling you, I can't even remember their names. I can't, honestly. But at that time, I saw them as the ones at the top, you know. So that's one of the reasons why I do love to give these free sessions, you know, just talk it over. It's not all money. And if it's something, you know, one can help, even if I can't help, I would love to point you in the right direction. So my name on the screen is my Facebook page name. So reach out, let's be friends. Let's, you know, let's get to know each other. And yeah, and I appreciate you, Dr. Stem. Thank you so much for trusting me with your work. I know it's not easy. I know you are a visionary. You are a, what's the word I'm looking for? I've been trying to think of that word. Like, you know, just, you are a leader, really, honestly. And you have so many ideas bubbling. And I don't think even you realize your potential. You think you do because of your profession, but I don't think you really realize the kind of impact that you are making in, you know, the difference you are making in people's lives, you know. And I know it's a matter of time before the world finds out, you know, that, oh, and she's been here all along, and, you know, we're just hearing this. And I know your birthday is coming up. So
a big
I'm excited for you
next week.
I'm excited for you. So
Thank you. My heart, and you know, God knows my heart, is that every woman, and if the brothers are watching out there and they will watch, you know, I got much love for you, but my heart is for us women to be able to cross that threshold where we can be financially stable. We have the resources that we need to have that money, but to be happy, to just have that heart that we can be happy, we can love ourselves, our lives, and know that we are valued, you know, by ourselves and the world. So I want to give out all that information like we did today, so that, you know what, whatever you need to know, let's talk, because it's possible for us to all rise up. I want to be able to, when we have bounced back in December of this year, to talk about testimonies of what we have done throughout 2023. So I refuse to have no story and nothing that happened to me in 2023 because I didn't take the risks. I didn't associate myself with those people that had the information, you know. So that's why she's saying, well, you are a person that has all these ideas, because I want to connect with people, communicate with people, and link people. So I want to link you with Miss Fumi, so that you can have your website, your programs, your courses built up online, and you can start making money, but reach out to the multitudes that you're supposed to reach out. So let's meet again next week. I'm here every, what do you call it? Tuesday. I was born on a Tuesday, by the way, but next week, March 9th is my birthday, which is, you know, on a Thursday next week. But next week, Tuesday, when I come in, yes, we're going to be talking about celebrations and why celebrations are important and key in success, whether it's in life and, you know, I mean, business and everything. We're talking about gratitude. So we're going to be talking about gratitude. If you want to be my guest, now I know how to add on guests. Let me know. All right, so we're going to see each other later on, because we have an appointment and we got what to do.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye, everyone.